I'm going to be adding a boatload of NHL legends back into the league, and we are going to see who can go on and win the Stanley Cup at the end of the season. I'm going to quickly go through and show you some of the players that I added back to the NHL. Starting off with the Anaheim Ducks, we got guys like Scott Niedermayer and Chris Pronger, as well as Teemu Selanne. Moving on to Boston, obviously Bobby Orr had to be back. Ray Bourque, Zdeno Chara is alive as well. The Buffalo Sabres got Dale Hawerchuk, Phil Housley, Pat LaFontaine, and of course, in goal, it will be none other than the Dominator, Dominic Hasek, at a 93 overall. Calgary will have guys like Jerome McGinley, Theo Fleury, Lanny McDonald. Carolina, not much to choose from. Rod Brind'Amour and Doug Weight, Ray Whitney as well. The Chicago Blackhawks will get back Chris Chelios, Jeremy Roenick, Sam Mikita, also Glenn Hall in net. Colorado gets back Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, Ray Bourque. Columbus is kind of hurting in this video. Really, only good player was Rick Nash, only legend that I added back to their team. The Dallas Stars will get back Mike Modano. Joe Nieuwendyk is there. Zubov as well. The Detroit Red Wings, of course, Gordie Howe, Nick Lidstrom, Steve Yzerman, Henrik Zetterberg. The Oilers will get the greatest player of all time in Wayne Gretzky. They get Mark Messier, Paul Coffey, Yari Curry as well. Jake Wallman is there. Florida was a tough one. Joe Nieuwendyk and I think Jay Bouwmeester, the only guys that I added back. The LA Kings will get back Marcel Dion, Luc Robitaille. We got Rob Blake. Minnesota is another one that is really lacking the legends. The best player that I added was Owen Nolan at an 87 overall. Maurice Richard for Les Montreal. PK Subban for the Nashville Predators was the best legend that I added back for them. We got Paul Stastny for the New Jersey Devils, as well as Patrick Elias, and of course in net it will be Martin Brodeur, the greatest goaltender of all time. Dennis Potvin, Brian Trottier, Pat LaFontaine for the New York Islanders. The Rangers will get back Brian Leetch, Mike Gartner, also the King himself, Henrik Lundqvist, who is not even going to start because Igor Shesterkin is 3 overalls higher than him, which is absolutely unfortunate. Ottawa will get back their former captain and Danny Alfredson, Mr. 50 in 07 himself, and Danny Heatley. Philly will get back Eric Lindros, one of the biggest what-ifs in NHL history. He's going to be a 92 overall. Also have Bobby Clark, Mark Recchi is there. We move on to the Pittsburgh Penguins, who obviously get back Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr. Joe Thornton, Dan Boyle, and Patrick Marleau are now just with a bunch of kids, essentially. On this very young San Jose Sharks squad, we move on over to Seattle. They don't get anybody. The St. Louis Blues, though, get Brett Hull as their best player at a 92 overall. Former captain and David Backes, who did not win a Stanley Cup there, but it is what it is. Martin St. Louis will return to Tampa Bay and join that absolutely stacked roster. The Toronto Maple Leafs got Matt Sundin, Doug Gilmour, Daryl Sittler also. Vancouver will get the Sedin sisters, Marcus Naslund, and in goal, Bobby Lou, my favorite goaltender of all time at a 91 overall. The Capitals didn't have a lot to choose from. I mean, they got Peter Bondra at an 87, Mike Gartner's a 90. Didn't really have a lot of options to bring back to that squad. And finally, for the Winnipeg Jets, Teemu Selanne has been duplicated. He's going to be up there at a 92. The Colorado Avalanche would end up being the best team in the NHL this season. 60 wins, 19 losses, 3 in overtime, followed by the Edmonton Oilers, who obviously were another big favorite. The New York Rangers were really good. Washington was up there despite not adding too much to that squad. Toronto's in the top 5. We get Detroit finally back in the postseason. And of course, the 3 expansion teams who were not given any legends were the bottom feeders of the NHL this season. The great one himself, Wayne Gretzky, is going to lead the NHL in scoring with 123 points, followed by McDavid, who had 121. Braden Point, a nice drop-off there of like 30 goddamn points. So outside of McDavid and Gretzky, nobody really had outstanding season. Bobby Orr, though, as a D-man, was point per game, 86 and 82 games, also 18 goals. Joe Sakic was solid. Mike Gartner, McKinnon had a very bad season to his standards. On the goal side, if we take a look, McDavid's going to lead the way with 56 on the year. Gretzky would end up having 52. Kyle Connor, 45. Brett Hull, 45. Leon only had 44. Maurice Richard with only 38. And if we take a look at the goaltenders, Mackenzie Blackwood led the way with 43 victories. Grand Fear was next with 40 for the Edmonton Oilers. Johnny Bower was up there. On the shutout side, Johnny Bower is going to lead the way with 9. Mike Vernon had 8, also a .921 save percentage. Kind of crazy, not going to lie. Cam Talbot was good. Grand Fear had 7. Glenn Hall with 6. And here we go in the postseason. Who is going to lead their team to a Stanley Cup? The Oilers right now have a 3-2 series lead over the Winnipeg Jets in their first round matchup. We're going to see if they can close the show here in Winnipeg. They're down 2-0 in the third period, so that's not looking too great, but obviously they had the best offense in the league with McDavid and Gretzky, the only players over 100 points, and they had 120 and 30, I think. Wait a minute, Leon Draisaitl makes it a 2-goal game. I mean, Gabe Vilardi basically put it out of reach with 7. Never mind, Wayne Gretzky scores on the power play. They got 5 minutes to go, and there it is. Leon Neon ties the game up. 2 minutes to go in the third. Can they finish it? No way! Nikolai Ehlers wins it for Winnipeg with 56 seconds to go. Colorado also has an opportunity to go to round number 2, and I mean, that is exactly what they're going to do. They dominated Chicago 7-4 in Game 6. The Detroit Red Wings trying to force a Game 7 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It is a 2-2 tie entering the third period. They're dominating the pace of play, though. Shots are 30-19 for the Red Wings. Funny enough, back in 2016, they played Tampa Bay the last time they actually made the playoffs. So right now, things are looking not great. Tie game, 5 minutes to go in the third period of game number 6. Are we going to have overtime? We are going to be hopping into the game here in overtime and hopefully seeing a potential series winner by the Tampa Bay Lightning, or maybe we're going to a Game 7 if the Detroit Red Wings can force a way to come back. Braden Point trying to get by Nick Lidstrom, but that shit ain't going to happen. Over to Mo Sizzy, up to Lucas Raymond. Tons of time in this overtime frame. I mean, Lucas Raymond just got absolutely buried by Jake Gensel. Braden Point, Gordy, how is on you, brother? Oh my God, Mo Sider just dropped 2 guys. Chernak and Braden Point. Bodies are dropping left and right. Nobody, I don't think, has a shot on net yet in this overtime. We're already 5 minutes in. Stevie Y coming in for Detroit. Gets bodied a little bit. Finds Nick Lidstrom, though, at the blue line. Over to Brinkett. Nice save by Vasilevsky. 14:25 left to go in overtime. Uh-oh. DeBrinkett's on that forecheck, though. He's hungry. He wants that puck, baby. And he ain't going to quit. Chernak up to Victor Hedman. Finding Jakey Gensel. Jake Gensel coming to the zone. Gensel shooting. Nice save by the netminder there. Dylan Larkin, though. Counterattack by the Red Wings. Can they? Oh, my God. This computer AI is awful, man. It seems like it's getting worse as the age goes on. Hagel. Oh, my God. What a shot by Hagel there. The game just continues to get older and outdated before, I mean, it's still in the game cycle. Henrik Zetterberg trying to find something there up to Marty St. Louis. Over to Brandon Hagel. A little bit of a cluster in the neutral zone. Power play for Tampa Bay. Coming up, Dennis Savard. Dylan Larkin is going to the box for slashing. Let's see if Tampa Bay can do anything on this power play. Jake Gensel loses the puck to Jeff Petrie of all players. Oh my God, man. This is ugly. We got to get the computer AI to start actually, like, firing on all cylinders here. You know what? Perfect way to do so. Empty the net, baby. There we go in overtime. Hall, Cock, Andrew Cock, game winner. We got a Game 7. F the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, there was a Game 7. Somehow, some way, Tampa Bay takes a 1-0 lead. 2-0 lead entering the third period. I think that might be it for the Detroit Red Wings. Even with Gordie Howe, Nick Lidstrom, Stevie Y, they are still, wait a minute, they are not out of it yet. Lidstrom, Raymond, and Larkin. We are only in round number 1, so we're at a quick sim it right now, and there it is. Tampa Bay is headed off to round number 2, thanks to a power play marker by Jake Gensel. We now move on to slightly more important games here in round number 2. Dallas and Colorado. We got Vancouver versus Winnipeg, Toronto and Tampa yet again, and then Boston and New Jersey. The Avalanche are 1 win away from reaching the conference finals as they are up 3-2 over the Dallas Stars. First period, a 2-0 lead. McKinnon and Forsberg. Second period, Joe Sakic does chip in and helps out their offense a little bit. Let's see what they can do. 15 minutes to go. Wait a minute. Lindell will score on Mackenzie Blackwood and make it a 1-goal game. Dallas is not out of it yet. They only need to score 1. 7 minutes to go. Can Mackenzie Blackwood shut it down for the Colorado Avalanche? 2 minutes remaining. Yes, he will. The Avs are off to the conference finals. The Devils are trying to accomplish the same exact thing. First period, 1-0 lead for the Bruins. Phil Esposito. Second period, they tie it up with the young man Luke Hughes. We got a third period sprint. potentially overtime. Boston trying to force a game 7, but Jack Hughes will score on Jeremy Swayman. He makes it a 1-goal game. The Devils now, they got Martin Brodeur. They can sit their ass back, kill the rest of this game, and head off to the conference finals. That's exactly what they will do. The final four, Toronto versus New Jersey. Then we got Winnipeg versus Colorado. Who is advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals? The Avs so far have been absolutely dominating Winnipeg, up 3-1 over them here in the conference finals, trying to move on to the Cup Finals. They got a 1-0 lead thanks to Cocaine Man himself, Val Nichushkin, third period time. They only got a 1-goal lead though, so they're really not sitting on much. The game so far, shots are 25-23. Pretty dead even. Not a lot of scoring. 150 remaining here in the third period. Colorado sitting on a 1-goal advantage over the Winnipeg Jets. Devon Toews. You know what? Colorado just trapped this shit up, dude. Like, we don't need any more goals. We need Mackenzie Blackwood to turn into a prime Martin Brodeur. Teemu Selanne, though, he has the puck. Where is he going? Over to Josh Morrissey. Moves it up to Scheifele. Over to Kyle Connor. Didn't get to him, though. Colorado just killing the clock right now. All this lack of offense from Winnipeg is just hurting them very, very bad. Val Nichushkin, he's got the lone goal in this game. Shoots on Hellebuck. Very, very easy save. 30 seconds remain. Winnipeg has emptied their net. Here they go. They get a shot on net, although it wasn't a great one. They get an offensive zone draw out of it. Can they win the draw? That's the most important thing right now. Velarde's on it. Loses it. Cale Makar. Empty net over to Ray Bourque. Bourque, you got an empty net to shoot at, brother. Oh my God. He absolutely skied it. That was not even close, dude. Put it on the ice. Velarde coming up for Winnipeg. 14 seconds to go. One final rush. Somebody's bucket is on the ice right now. I don't even know who. Up to Joe Sakic. Sakic with an empty net. Can't even get a shot off. Over to Selanne. Up to Doan. Shane Doan, the Winnipeg Jets legend. And there it is. Colorado will be advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, they're already a good simming team without all these legends added to their roster. With them, they might truly be unstoppable. Toronto is trailing 3-2 to the New Jersey Devils here in the conference finals. A game 6 in New Jersey. It's going to be tough to win this one. Second period, 1-0 lead. No way Austin Matthews just scored on Martin Brodeur in the playoffs. I refuse to believe it. Nonetheless, it's a 1-0 lead. Never mind. Peter Stastny on Johnny Bauer will tie the game up with John Tavares. Gives the Leafs the lead. Can they force a game 7? Back on home ice, 3-1 lead. Matthews, the insurance marker. And we are not headed to Toronto for Game 7 just yet. The New Jersey Devils had a miraculous comeback here in the third period. It's all knotted up at 3. We are in overtime, and I'm praying to God that we get an overtime winner. Hughes over Meyer. Rebound. Johnny Bauer, though, will make the save and cover it up. Shots are 33-30 for the New Jersey Devils. All tied up at 3. Matt Sundin coming in, driving down the wing, loses it to Timo Meier. Over to Jesper Bratt. It's going to be tough to beat this Devil squad, I'll be honest. Martin Brodeur back there. He's played in many playoff games, one of the best playoff goaltenders of all time. I mean, just take a look at his numbers. Matthews coming in. Austin Matthews waiting for some help. Waiting again, loses it to Jesper Bratt. New Jersey recovers the puck. Here they go the other way. We've yet to have really a good chance in the overtime. Siegenthaler, block shot by the Toronto defenseman. Morgan Riley, top 5 D-man, leading the rush for the Leafs. Matt Sundin again. Are they just going to repeatedly shoot at shin pads? Is that what I came in here to witness right now? Can we get some, please? Can we please get some great opportunities? Oh, my Lord. The computers are so inept at coming in offensively. Elias waiting, firing, and it's in the back of the net. That will do it. The New Jersey Devils eliminate Toronto in Game 6, and now they are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals to play the Colorado Avalanche. Best of 7 for the Stanley Cup rematch of 2001. Here we go. We have ourselves a series. It is now turned into a best of 3. Both teams having 2 wins apiece heading into a very pivotal game number 5. First period, a 1-1 tie. Elias and Brock Nelson. Second period, the Avs go up by 1. Jonathan Drouin and Joe Sakic will score for Colorado, trying to take a 3-2 series lead. Of course, the Devils, they got defeated way back in 01 against the Colorado Avalanche. I believe the Devils are actually the defending Stanley Cup champions. Scotty Gomez, I completely forgot I even added him to the roster. And when I say legends, I mean I use that term metaphorically because some of these players were not the highest of overalls, and they still got added back to their teams. Here we go in overtime. The winner is not going to win the cup, but he's going to go up 3-2 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Marty Necas coming in for Colorado. We are in the Ball Arena, or Give Your Balls a Tug Arena, whatever the hell they call it now in Colorado. Nate MacKinnon beyond the net, trying to center it out in front, but Siegenthaler was all over him. Dougie Hamilton. Man, New Jersey has some big-ass defensemen, man. I'm not going to lie. Jesper Bratt coming into the zone, and Blackwood is forced to cover it up. Jesper Bratt and Joe Sakic leading the NHL in scoring in the postseason. Unbelievable. 17:39 left to go here in OT. Who is going to go up 3-2 in the series? I mean, if the Devils do it, they get to head back to home ice with a potential Stanley Cup on the board. Bork shooting, and Brodeur snatched the hell out of that. 16:33. Left to go. Siegenthaler gives it over to Dougie Hamilton. Tons of time in this overtime frame. I pray to God we get a winner. Jesper Bratt coming in over Hughes. Nice save by Mackenzie Blackwood right there. That was a game-saving save. Hughes was picking that corner. Here we go, Colorado. We're headed the other way. Shots are 35-30 for the Avs. Forsberg, nice save again by Marty. 14:03 left to go in overtime. Offensive zone draw. Devon Taves absolutely flicked that puck on net. That was not a hard shot at all. Elias, you got to go somewhere. You got to move, brother. You got to Rob Blake coming in. Over to Nichushkin. Cocaine Man finds Jonathan Drouin. Streaking in. Who was that? Was that Val? I think it was Val Nichushkin. Oh, it was Forsberg. My bad. That's complete disrespect on my part. Nico Hischier. Over to Patrick Elias. Coming into the zone, Elias. Centering it. Nice save. Rebound. Blackwood is all over that. Mackenzie Blackwood making save after save. Keeping Colorado in this game and in this series. Drouin coming in over to Val. Waiting. He's trying to go backdoor there, but there's two players in the way. That is not going to work. Brett Pesce feeds it over to Scott Gomez, who looked like he was going for a change, if I'm being honest there. I don't know why he gave him the puck. Oh my God, what is going on in the defensive zone for Colorado right now? They are struggling. Gabe Landeskog. Landy fires one. Nice save by Brodeur. First line out there for the Avs. They got to get the big guns. The big dogs got to eat, baby. Nosen coming in the zone. Lose it to Josh Manson. Up to Joe Sakic. Here comes Colorado the other way. A counterattack trying to find Nate MacKinnon. Or no, that's not Nate MacKinnon. That's Marty Necas. What the hell? What is this first line with Necas, Forsberg, or not even Forsberg? I'm pretty sure it's Joe Sakic with Nate Dogg. Oh no. Over to Kovacevic. Back to the point. Steals it though is Joe Sakic. He gets nailed. Absolutely leveled. Nate MacKinnon is all alone on the breakaway. MacKinnon finds Gerard finding Necas. What a save by Martin Brodeur. How did that man make that save? I thought for sure MacKinnon was going to shoot it, and then I thought the other guy was going to shoot it. Oh no, Ross Colton. The other way, Colton coming in. Ross Colton behind the net. Charlie Coyle spinning on the backhander. We got like the third and fourth liners out there right now. A minute to go before we hop the hell out of here. Can we get a game winner? 50 seconds to go in the third period. Ross Colton skating the puck up, and he dumps it in deep. I mean, nobody has energy on Colorado right now, dude. Get the big dogs out there, though. Oh, that was a bad change. That was a horrific change by me. Brett. Thankfully, it did not end up leading to a goal. Marty Necas. He got 30 seconds to work with here, Necas. Coming into the zone. One touch deep. Back to Makar. To Necas. Shooting. Nice save by Marty again. Brodeur has been excellent in this game. 41 shots. Only 3 goals against. Jack Hughes trying to... honestly, I don't know what he was trying to do there. I guess a one-touch deke, but he doesn't have the moves for that. Come on, you got to move the puck there, Joe Sakic. You're falling to the ice way too often, looking like Hughes in Four Nations. Brad shooting, what a save by Blackwood, and it doesn't look like we're getting an overtime winner. The Avalanche ultimately would end up winning it in overtime as we now hop into Game 6 with the Stanley Cup in the building in New Jersey, trying to force a Game 7. First period, Colorado up 2-0. Second period, we got ourselves a tie game yet again, but thanks to Luke Hughes, the Devils are sitting on a 1-goal lead in the third period. Now, if this was Pekka Pasta, this game would be locked up already. Thank you, Brendan Dillon. Makes it a 2-goal game. Insurance marker was desperately needed for the Devils. 7 minutes to go. They're trying to force a Game 7 back in Balls Arena. 2 minutes to go. That will do it. We got a Game 7, do or die for all the marbles. It all comes down to this. Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals, 3-0 New Jersey after the first period. Second period, okay, Landeskog gets one on Brodeur, but things are looking very slim for Colorado. They had a 3-2 series lead. choked it away. Wait a minute. Ray Bourque makes it a 1-goal game. Brodeur shaky right now. 2 goals on 28 shots. 7 minutes remaining here in the third period. Can the Devils hold on the road and get their revenge? All right, 1:32 remains here in the third period of Game 7. Colorado down by 1. I mean, at one point they were down by 3, but they're going to have to pull their goalie very shortly here. 1 minute to go. Charlie Coyle, toe drag release. When did he turn into Bedard? What happened there? All right, empty net for the Avs. Uh-oh. Oh, things are not looking too great. Jack Hughes has an empty net to shoot at, and he is going to bury it. Pretty much signaling the end of Colorado's playoff run, and New Jersey getting their revenge. As the New Jersey Devils come back down 3-2 in the Stanley Cup Finals and get their revenge over 2001. Martin Brodeur was definitely a deciding factor, if not the deciding factor, as the Devils, they got back the best goaltender in NHL history. They go all the way, and they're going to win the Stanley Cup after I completely buffed the NHL, bringing back the best players of all time, and even some mid players that, you know, maybe were just local legends in the area. I don't even know what I'm saying. Nonetheless, Jack Hughes, 14 goals, 27 points, Conn Smythe winner. I went from 99 overalls to even 87s. Damn near every team got like 3 to 4 players, so times that by 30 teams. This is an NHL that is absolutely on steroids, just like it was back in the 80s, baby. There is the Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, forgive your balls at Tug Arena. The fans are not going to be happy seeing Nico Hischier come and lift the Stanley Cup for the Devils, as they have gone all the way on the back of Martin Brodeur. Jack Hughes is going to lead the NHL in scoring for the playoffs. He had 14 goals and 27 points. At 24 years old, having that performance in the playoffs is absolutely legendary. Jesper Bratt had 26. Joe Sakic was up there with 25. Somehow was a -1, though. Cale Makar was good, as well as Elias. Peter Forsberg was solid. But, of course, Martin Brodeur, baby. 16-7-2, had 2 shutouts, and more importantly, a .924 save percentage. The great one is going to win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Maurice Richard will go to McDavid. Bobby Orr is going to end up winning the Norris. The Conn Smythe, of course, to Hughes. The Vezina to Glenn Hall, and the Selke Trophy will go to Sasha Barkov. Well, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.